Once there lived a demon of great power in Venice, Italy. He had the power to possess a person and make them go completely insane. His name was AmigoNemico. Amigo meaning friend in Spanish and nemico meaning enemy in Italian. But AmigoNemico was now fed up with being the bad one. 2 nights before Halloween, AmigoNemico stalked the sidewalks of Venice, kicking around rocks and watching the beautiful steady canals. He was a short thing, dark red scales, bat-like wings, long falcon-like tails, small horns, a dragon-like tail, and 3 eerie fingers on each hand. I'll only be here for 3 more nights, and then I must travel to Rome, he thought. I wish the people of this marvelous city would trust me. He thought to himself and continued walking over an elegant bridge, reminding him of a cat's back all arched up. As AmigoNemico walked along the lonesome sidewalks of Venice, he suddenly came across a beautiful girl. She had long black hair that was absolutely perfect, that every girl in Italy would envy. She also had huge dark eyes that shone brightly in the starless sky. She stood in the moonlight, smiling at him, and he approached her and said in his hoarse, demonic voice, "Greetings." He expected her to be afraid and run down the street in terror. "Hello, and how are you on this magnificent night?" she asked with no trace of fear. "Oh, aren't you afraid of me?" he asked. "No, I know that you're going to change your ways." "How did you know?" AmigoNemico was getting suspicious. "Do you want my help?" the girl asked slyly. "Yes, I have no idea where to start," AmigoNemico said with shame. "I'm Rosa," she said. "I'm AmigoNemico," he replied. "I need the people to trust me, but I don't want to confront them myself. They have pitchforks, knives, and torches," AmigoNemico said. "Okay, meet me here tomorrow night and we'll start, and we can get this done by Halloween," Rosa said to him. "I'll see you then," he said with doubt. "Bye," Rosa said. "This girl is insane," he thought to himself, and flew off into the darkness with his long bat-like wings. All next day, AmigoNemico paced around his cave. "I don't know if this will work. I've got to leave on Halloween. I'm so nervous." "No," he scolded himself. "I must calm myself and give this girl a try. Even if something does go wrong, I can save myself." When dawn came around the corner and leapt into the sky, AmigoNemico met Rosa at her house that night. The whole night they rode around the beautiful city of Venice, doing nice things for AmigoNemico in disguise. They taught him manners and helped people the whole night under the silky black blanket of this night. Once they had almost covered the entire city, Rosa and AmigoNemico rode home. "Meet me here tomorrow night on Halloween, and we will confront the town and gain their trust," Rosa said. "What? Are you crazy?" AmigoNemico abruptly yelled. "Shh, people still don't know it's you," Rosa told him. Okay, I'll meet you here at this spot tomorrow," AmigoNemico said and heaved a sigh. "Good night," he said to her. "Bye," she said with a smile. And then Amigo took off into the night, silently flapping his wings through the midnight air. The next night, Amigo met Rosa at her house and greeted her with a rowboat all ready in disguise. He had shape-shifted into a young-looking boy with a mask. Rosa came out of her house wearing a green dress with skulls and gemstones on it. She had her hair brushed down as she would normally wear it, but over her face was a black feathered mask that stuck onto her face, only covering her eyes. But you couldn't tell it was her at all. She climbed into the boat and said, "Thank you," with a smile, as they rowed off to the annual Halloween masquerade ball in the town. Once they got there, AmigoNemico and Rosa climbed out of their boats and fireworks went off, and people laughed and danced. Rosa guided Amigo through the clean air, and they tried their best to blend in with other people dancing on the streets. They wove through lines of people and pushed their way up onto stage with the grand red curtains draped over the stage. Amigo turned back into his normal form and waited behind the stage. Once Rosa had consulted with the owners of the stage, they had allowed her to use the stage before they had the performances begin. It had reached the time for curtains to come up, and Amigo hid behind the stage, and Rosa welcomed the audience. "Welcome and happy Halloween," she said, and the crowd clapped and hooted. The raging sea of people made her nervous, but when they calmed down, she relaxed too and remembered that she was doing this for her friend. "Okay, tonight I have to introduce a new friend to you," Rosa said, and took a deep breath. She thought, "What if they don't trust him? This could go really bad. But think on the bright side. This could go really well too." She continued out loud, "But you may have not trusted him before, but I have spent only 2 nights with him, and I hope you will accept him as a friend too." Mumbles and questions buzzed around the crowd. "Amigo?" Rosa said, turning around to his hiding spots around the stage. Slowly and timidly, a small creature came out from behind the stage. The crowd recognized him and gasped. Mothers covered their children's eyes as many people yelled and booed. Suddenly, guards came from every direction to take Amigo away. It was complete chaos until Rosa yelled at the guards, "Hey, I trust him and you should too. I can't believe you haven't even given him a chance yet, and you just went out and yelled at him. Give him another chance." "Well, how do we know he hasn't possessed you?" some voice from the crowd yelled. Rosa took her mask off and the crowd recognized her. They all fell silent for a few seconds. It felt like time had stopped. Even though he has done horrible things, I think I can forgive him now," a little girl's voice from the crowd said. Suddenly, someone else said, "I can trust him too," and it went on until Rosa and Amigo smiled. After everyone had said it, people clapped, and Rosa and Amigo stepped off the stage. The guards retreated back to their posts, and the dances and festivities began. Then Amigo looked at Rosa, and he began to grow. His tail, his horns, and his claws began to disappear, and Amigo turned into a living boy with hair as black as a crow, shirt colored like the midnight sky, and rugged jeans on. But Amigo had a black feathered mask on, much like Rosa's. Rosa's jaw dropped, and she was speechless in the presence of her new human friend. "I guess I won't be leaving Vents anytime soon," he said with a smile. And the whole rest of the night, Amigo, Rosa, and her friends danced under the starless sky with a beautiful full moon over their heads. Everyone put their trust in Amigo, and Amigo also trusted the whole city back, especially his new friend Rosa. The end.